Hello, everybody. We're back here with yet another edition of the Expat Hour. I'm with Andrew Vasquez, who's been a regular contributor to our program. Andrew has studied various countries for relocation, and he is certainly in the position to ask some thought-provoking questions that have been on the minds of many of us. Andrew, I understand you had some interest in the triple border area, the waterfalls that separate Brazil, Argentina, and Paraguay. So, Andrew, what in particular strikes you as the most curious about this region? Why are you considering relocating here?
Well, me personally, I certainly have my reasons, but really, what I'd love to go ahead and get your thoughts on, Al, is all of the recent interest that our audience has been expressing in terms of their interest in Paraguay. So, for the members of this audience who may not be aware, Al has a vlog where he documents all of his travels, and most recently, he's been producing a lot of content about Paraguay. And understandably, that's raised a lot of questions about that. Al, one of the more frequent questions that we get, one of the more frequent questions that's asked about Paraguay is how do I, as a potential expat, transition over there without learning the language or knowing the language? Can you speak a little bit on that?
Honestly, that's going to be a challenge. Paraguay is still a fairly new destination for expats, but it's an emerging country. It's a bit like Albania in Europe. Albania is a lovely little tourist destination, hospitable locals, a lot of economic potential. But if you go to Albania, you're going to be culturally out of place. Paraguay is the same way. To truly understand Paraguay, you gotta understand Guarani, and that's the local indigenous dialect. I don't speak Guarani, although I'm fluent in Spanish, and I often find myself out of place. The locals are quite hospitable. There are no complaints there. They have a reputation for being kind and considerate, and they don't have much experience with foreigners. So you're going to be a minor celebrity of sorts. But even if you don't even know Spanish, you're going to be out of luck. And you're going to be find some expats. You're going to find some expat groups. You're going to find people from Europe here, from the United States, Canada, but there are not very many. For example, last week I ran into a Canadian fellow at a local coffee shop, and he doesn't speak any Spanish, but he has lived in Asia for like 5 years. He has an online business, and he has gotten used to being in countries like Thailand, where everybody speaks the language. Now, Paraguay, not so much. I mean, he had a bit of a bump, and he has been looking into going to Argentina as well. He compared the residency programs for Argentina and Paraguay, and one thing he learned is that in Argentina, they're more likely to tax you, they're more likely to demand financial information from you. And of course, in Argentina, they do like to tax you to the hilt. Now, the new president, Javier Milei, is trying to change that. He's trying to make Argentina a more attractive destination for investors. And he's making some progress, but he's facing some stiff resistance from the Peronist establishment, the party with fascistic and communistic tendencies that has bled Argentina dry. They've been in power, my goodness, for over 80 years. So, but Argentina is moving away from that. Yet there's so much to undo. And on the other hand, the president of Paraguay, Santiago Peña, is a professor of economics, like Javier Milei, but he does not have as steep of a mountain to climb. He's begging foreign investment. He's doing everything in his power to attract expats, to attract financial contributions. He is often criticized for his cavalier attitude towards social welfare. For example, has little interest in improving the infrastructure in Paraguay. It's a disaster. I've driven all over the country. Roads apparently don't have highways don't even have lanes to separate traffic. And there are potholes that are so big that you could lose a truck there. And the education system is atrocious. And Santiago Peña could not care less. He's doing everything in his power to attract expats like our audience who are willing to put in 20, 30, $50,000 or more into a Paraguayan bank account. You can open that really easily, and that's really the catch. So, how are you going to get by without knowing the language? Not very well, but there are other advantages that are financial in nature, and I'm sure you'll find like-minded individuals here and there. That's assuming you have money that you can stick into a Paraguayan bank account. And yeah, put $4,000 or $5,000 into a Paraguayan bank. You're a resident and suffer for a year. Yeah, Paraguay is boring. If you don't know the language, you're not going to get very far. But you're going to be home free after a year. After a year, 6 months if you're lucky, and then you can travel all over South America whenever you want, and you'll have a home base to come back to.
Do you think your vlog material is what's sparking a lot of this interest?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people in the comments thread are openly asking for Paraguay videos. They're tired of
Mm.
hearing about Brazil, about Colombia, about Argentina, Uruguay, all Chile, all these top countries, and they have their issues. Brazil, Argentina, even Chile have their stability issues. Uruguay is as pricey as Italy. It's just crazy. And you're getting a country that kind of looks like Europe, but it's really not. And you're going to be overpaying if you go to Uruguay. But if you want a stable country, Paraguay is the way to go.
If
It's an exception to a lot of rules.
if a member of our audience really just wants to go ahead and talk with you about maybe scheduling a trip over there, planning a trip over there to do some reconnaissance, how would they get a hold of you, Al?
Well, just check the links, check the description of this video. You're going to see the link where you can book a free consultation. That's right, a half an hour consultation, no charge. And before you pay a dime, we're going to have a clear plan of action for you. You'll know
Yeah.
exactly what you'll be paying for, what questions will be answering for you, and what you can expect. There's no gimmicks, no tricks, and it's as simple as that. A free consultation, and then if you have a clear game plan that we can help you with, that's when you'll be paying for consultations.
Yeah, this has come up before. Some people are under the impression that we won't work with them, you won't work with them unless they are officially ready to go ahead and do the full throttle relocation to a different country. You work with clients all the time that are just looking to go ahead and visit different countries. Is that correct, Al?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can help you book airline tickets. We can help you find an affordable place to live. We can help you determine what neighborhood suits you best, and most importantly, how you can avoid dangerous areas. Now, that's a major concern.
Yeah.
Traveling all over Latin America.
How to travel, how to go ahead and book your lodging while not getting ripped off,
Hmm.
understanding in advance that, yeah, you're going to be a tourist here, you're going to be visiting here, but our viewers are really looking to go ahead and make use of your expertise to make sure that they're not taken advantage of while they're overseas. They're looking to book your expertise to make sure that they're going to have a very safe but very fun opportunity in a different country. And so I think that's very valuable.
Yeah, yeah, and one thing that we can offer is that we have contacts with the local community.
Hmm.
There's some things that you can only know through experience. It doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you watch or how many pages of text you read on expat forums. There is no substitute for actually getting there, talking to the people who live there, and learning things that only come through the word of mouth.
Yeah, and I think that you bring up a great point, Al. There are certain topics that our viewers are going to want to learn about that we really can't speak about openly here on YouTube. A couple of things that are really just pertinent to more closed door conversations. And so that's really where the value in having a consultation, having meetings, and working with a professional really comes into play.
Yeah, yeah, and YouTube's censorship policy is growing. It's just so easy to get banned for apparently no reason. Yeah, there is no censorship in a private discussion. Half an hour meeting, we'll answer any questions you have, and then you'll have to see what serves you best, and that's what we're here for, to give you information that's as unbiased, neutral, and experience based as possible.
Al, those are all the questions that I have. Thank you so much for your time this evening. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll You'll be hearing from us again soon.